You are listening to Bearcat Insider with everybody's favorite assistant coach, Travis Marsh, and I'm Chance Kirby. Now to the show.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the CS Designs post-game show. This is
Ponder Week.
Ponder Edition.
CS Design, Pilot Bearcat Insider post-game show, Ponder Edition.
Sorry, I've moved on to Boyd.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I am Coach Marsh, and I'm with athlete extraordinaire.
Wow, you got jokes today.
Chance Kirby.
Yeah.
And we're going to start off with disclaimer number one.
Okay.
I apologize for all the sniffles that you're going to hear from me.
You sound like a slee stack.
I'm currently under the weather.
Yeah.
But pushing through. Number two, if you have kept an eye on Twitter, not only have we had some fantastic graphics go out.
I'm looking at it now.
We have an offer.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to open, you were thinking like I was going to congratulate ECU for figuring it out. Finally, somebody stepped up. Because we know what Aiden is. It just, everyone else hasn't figured it out for whatever reason.
Well, they did.
But last night, ECU offered Aiden the opportunity to come play for him.
And so hopefully that's the first of many.
Yeah.
But in any case, it's a first and it's awesome. And congrats, Aiden.
Yeah. And Coach Lenny. That's not L-E-N-N-E-Y, but L-I.
Yeah.
Looks like that's who recruited him. At least that's who Aiden tagged.
Sure. Well, and so hats off to Aiden. He certainly has earned it. And that's how we're going to start this thing off.
Let's do it.
I believe that we're looking at the most prolific receiving season in Pilot Point history.
I think we're watching history. I can't confirm that till next summer when we take a deep dive. Yeah. And I was talking to Ryan and John. We had a sideline reporter at the game this week. Yeah. I don't know if you knew that.
Shooter McGavin.
You were busy.
I was busy.
Yeah.
Really busy, actually.
We had that discussion. There's a possibility that the Price era, when he was quarterback.
JP.
Yeah. I don't know if he distributed the wealth a lot or not, but we threw a lot then.
Yes.
So with that offense, that's where I'm going to look first.
Yeah, and I was on the opposing sideline that year for Jesh's senior year when it was his lone year as a starter here. And it was an explosion of numbers and not an explosion of wins.
Yeah.
And so I think that year gets lost statistically because it was a non-playoff year, which you don't meet the minimum standard in Pilot Point, Texas if you don't make the playoffs. But he had a lot of yards.
But like I said, if he was distributing it out,
I think he was somewhere around 3,000.
Yeah, I'd really.
I think that in my mind, that can be a misnomer because you could have 4 800-yard receivers, which is impressive if he did that. But it lends itself. There could be some big numbers, but I don't think anybody did it.
We're definitely watching the top 3 without a doubt. We can safely say that. Probably top 2.
And sorry, Sugar Bear. He might be the best receiver in Pilot Point history.
I'll go with that.
That's tough. There's some good ones.
That's up for debate, like when you talk about who's the best running back, but I will agree with you on that one.
And another thing, though, is who knows what Sugar Bear would have done with 41 catches.
Yeah.
41 pass attempts in a season.
Yeah.
That's the thing of scheme and new school versus old school and usage rates and all that stuff. It's a good argument, but we have a special one.
We do.
And so...
And, I hurt your feelings this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, because I don't like Madden because it is the most unrealistic version of football I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But then the more I got to thinking about it this morning before this podcast, that was a Madden game we watched Friday night. You give it to your running back who scores 4 touchdowns, I believe.
On 7 touches.
Then you just throw it up to your receiver. You get 2 70-yard touchdowns, very Madden-like.
Yeah.
And then to flip it over on the Ponder side, it doesn't matter what the situation. they're going for it on fourth down. It's 4-down territory.
Yeah, no, I feel like Coach Cooper had not a care in the world.
It was such a Madden game.
Yeah.
And it looked like me playing Madden. I was Ponder.
And for what it's worth, I don't think the slider for Ponder was up to all Madden.
Yeah.
I think they were stuck kind of the rookie part there.
That's where I'm stuck. That's what I'm saying. I feel more for Ponder now because they were like my Madden teams. No matter what team I pick, that's what it looks like.
Now, I would love to say that, man, we started fast and we were just on fire and we just dominated them. The first drive scared the crap out of me.
That's what I was going to ask you. It seemed like we were in shock and an adjustment period.
No.
Yeah.
They just kind of outplayed us for a little bit.
We weren't having problems with the speed? I mean, it was super fast.
No, because we practiced it.
Okay.
We practiced that tempo. It's like we were stuck in first gear. And so it was a little bothersome.
Yeah, but then they shot themselves in the foot.
After that first drive,
yeah,
then it was on.
Yeah.
And so, they shot themselves in the foot with a bad snap at the 2-yard line and got nothing out of that drive. And then we work our way down the field, go up 6-0. Ish Harris, 24-yard touchdown run, hits it up the middle, breaks out to the left side.
3rd and short, pistol formation, handoff. Okay, Ish gets a hole, cuts it out left, trying to pick up a block from Cade Carter. He does, and he finds the end zone for the Pels of Princeton touchdown.
He dangerous.
24 yards on that carry.
We tried to go for 2 with the old swing gate and didn't get in because we were having issues getting lined up, and Aiden wouldn't snap the ball. He couldn't. He was not allowed to by the officials because the officials were trying to get us lined up correctly.
That looked like a new formation to me.
It wasn't.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I don't keep notes on them all, but it just looked different to me. Maybe it's because I was standing in a different spot.
Maybe. And then
we'll say it's that.
We give them the ball back, obviously, because we just scored. They kind of work the way down the field a little bit. They punt it. And then 13-0, Aiden Cox, 74-yard touchdown pass. On a 2-yard pass from Wyatt, he catches it and hustles down the sideline and outruns everybody and pay dirt.
3rd possession of the game. Snap, looking to throw. Swing, screen. Aiden Cox goes up and gets it, and he's gone to the house. They're not going to catch him. Well, no, there he goes. Kicked in the afterburner. Another huge play by Aiden Cox there. A 74-yard touchdown, Bearcat.
First of 3 for Aiden. 20-0, Ish Harris, 25-yard touchdown run.
Ish Harris with the tackle up the middle. He's got some space. Stiff arms a man, cuts it right. Touchdown, Ish Harris, 25 yards.
Same type thing. He just hits it up the middle and then pops out the other side, and it kind of breaks to the right pylon. And at this point, we've stopped with the 2-point conversion thing. We're just kicking extra points. Ish Harris again, 37-yard touchdown run.
Back, takes the snap, and he's going to get the handoff right side. This carry number 3, and this may be touchdown number 3. Turns on the burners down the sideline, and he gets in. Another Pels of Princeton touchdown.
The big change is Dakota David handed the ball off to him this time instead of Wyatt, and he kind of broke out and then ended up racing down the right sideline. And he looked fast.
Yeah, he found that gear that he had against Paradise.
Yeah, it was nice. He looked pretty aggressive running the football, and you look at his numbers, and I think he ended up with 140-something all-purpose yards. We'll get to some additional yardage here in just a second, but man, 24 points on 7 touches is a good day at the office.
Yeah, you definitely be happy with that. Any game. 150 all-purpose yards.
Okay. 98 and 52.
98 and 52.
Okay. And to get to that 52 yards catching the football was our next score that put us up 33-0, and that was Dakota David, King David, we can call him.
Yeah, been calling him that all weekend.
Yeah, and 'tis good to be the king.
It is.
And he hits a 44-yard touchdown pass to Ish, which was nice.
Fields the snap, looking to throw, throws a deep ball to Ish.
There he is.
Ish runs under it. Cock is going to keep his feet. Yes, 10, 5, 39, 44-yard touchdown for Ish Harris. Goodness.
I'd been hearing from Ish that he was pretty disappointed that we were only using him for bubble routes. And so it was nice to see him get vertical and make a nice snag.
Ish made me happy on that because he showed his athleticism. He should have fallen down.
He should have, but, he's like a cat, and
Yeah. Put the old left hand down.
Yeah, they worked that.
Kind of did the Heisman move to the ground.
That's a little early to call Heisman.
Yeah. But it was that look. But
They worked that.
What, really?
They worked that in offensive individual with Coach Kramer.
Man.
Well,
He's a visionary.
Hats off, Coach Kramer.
Yeah.
So, that was well prepared. But it was a great ball by Dakota, put it high and outside where only Ish could get it. And there wasn't bad coverage. There was somebody on him, and Dakota put it in a spot where only Ish could get it.
Talking about Dakota, it went Wyatt, Dakota in for 2 series, back to Wyatt. You okay? You good?
Good.
Was something wrong with Wyatt, or it's just like, hey, let's get Dakota in there because it was...
As we know from Aston, you never know when you're going to lose somebody.
Yeah.
And as we know from Aston, the next guy might not be ready.
Well, then...
And so it's a great time to get Dakota some game reps, and it's not just straight trash time.
Yeah.
Hey, throw the football and throw it vertical.
Well, in my oversimplified mind, I would think when you take Wyatt out, then Wyatt's out. That's why it went like 2 series Dakota back to Wyatt.
Well, the first series was a handoff to Ish for 37 yards. So we kind of needed to get him a little bit more work.
It's a great handoff.
Yeah, he was really good at it.
He did, carried out the fake perfectly.
Hats off to Dakota for getting the snap and handing the ball off to the 4-star Texas A&M signee.
Yeah.
But no, he came in and threw a fantastic pass, and we really like what we got from Dakota. I think it was a really good game for him to get in there and see some good action. He ran the ball well, threw the ball well, and so we were really impressed with what we got from Dakota. And it's like I said, we didn't want him to get in the game just to hand the ball off. He doesn't get any better doing that.
No, and you've got to have a guy on the ready. You never know.
Yeah, one play away.
Yeah.
Always one play away from being the starter when you're the backup. Now, 33-0. Everything comes crashing down. 33-7 Ponder touchdown pass. If you watch the videos, the most bogus, intentional offensive pass interference that you could possibly have. The outside receiver comes in physically 2-hand shoves Jace Williamson for the offensive pass interference so the other guy could get open.
It's not a penalty if they don't call it.
That is true. It's a penalty to me.
Yeah.
I didn't see it at the time. I saw it.
You're a football purist, though.
Am I?
When it comes to the refs.
That's very good. I was friends with the ref on our sideline.
I saw you pick up the flag a couple times
and
not blow your nose with it.
He dropped his radio.
Yeah.
And not only did I pick it up, I hooked it back up for him and put it in his little pouch on his belt. I was really helpful.
Did we get a holding call on them after it or anything?
No. It's just out of the kindness of my heart. I'm compassionate towards the referees.
You turned over a new leaf?
For one day you didn't see me Thursday.
Yeah.
I had to make up for Thursday by being nice on Friday. But, yeah, and that happens. We talk about it, is the defense and the scheme that we run and the style of defense that we play. You're going to give up plays.
When is I'm going to look that up for the guide and put that in Streaks and Trends this week. Do you remember when our last shutout was? I don't.
Did Clyde score on us in the playoffs last year?
I feel like they did, but it will be. There's something for everybody to wait for. I'm going to have an answer in Streaks and Trends.
I know for sure we can go back to Bowie in 19. That was 73-0.
And we beat Ponder 71-0 that year, too.
Yeah. So I know for sure
2019
is as far back as we'll go. I want to think Clyde was, it might have been like 56-12, though.
And I do thank Ponder for changing the offense.
Was Crum 25-0? That was 19, too.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
But, Ponder's new offense. I was just going to say I really appreciate them running that because I didn't feel nearly as miserable as I did last year playing Ponder. And I think that's all 4. You can't say 3 and out with Ponder. 4 and out because they don't punt.
Yeah, but no punts.
And then they
Who cares about field
use
position?
up no clock, and then they give it back to us to go score. So it wasn't nearly as stressful.
Well, it's going to be stressful for you trying to get all these highlights up on Twitter.
Yeah, that's going to be there's a lot of touchdowns, but I'll make it. I've already got a call this week from, I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but somebody was already asking where they were. I'm like, they show up at the same time every week.
It's just automatic. Now, after Ponder closes the gap to 33-7, I feel like that's a very political correct way to segue into this. We go up 40-7 with a 70-yard touchdown pass from Wyatt to Aiden.
Wyatt Smith is back. He takes a snap looking to pass. Slant route, Aiden Cox. And Aiden Cox, no one's there.
Turn air conditioner on.
Aiden Cox. He does not want to be outdone by his partner. And that is a Pelsel Princeton touchdown. Huge play there.
How do you leave him that open?
70-yard touchdown for Aiden Cox.
This would be the first time that we score on the same exact play. Because 2 scores later, we'll do it for 64 yards.
Can we call it a touchdown play?
No.
It's not supposed to be.
No, I mean, it was just supposed to be a pretty routine catch-throw, long handoff. Then
Aiden is running. He's a different person, and I don't know why. I don't know what has happened in his life, but it's like he's running with purpose. Not that he didn't run with purpose before, but his purpose is to score every time he touches the ball. And I go back to, and I told you this, I think Friday or this weekend, when he ran over Crew, I mean, he was so intent on getting, and he didn't score that time.
No, he
but
didn't.
Crew was in front of him trying to block, and Aiden didn't go around him.
No.
Didn't try to come up with, just ran smooth over him.
Yeah, and then straddled him and
Yeah.
then rode him for a couple yards, and then
Yeah.
no big deal.
But I think that's,
And then everybody was really mad at Crew. If you watch the huddle film,
yeah,
everybody's just yelling at Crew.
they blame Crew for tackling Aiden.
Yes, probably. I
Well,
don't know.
if you'll recall, last year in the Jim Ned game, Aiden tackled Jay on a huge play
Yeah.
that we needed. So, he needs to be patient.
Well, I'm glad we got it
happens.
out of the way in Ponder and not against Jim.
I'm just
Ned.
saying it happens to everybody.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But there's something different with him now.
I think what you're seeing is that you have physical maturity and mental maturity and all that has leveled out.
Can we do announcer talk? The game's slowing down for him.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think the urgency's there. If you know Aiden, you know there's not much that's urgent about Aiden.
True.
I don't know what gives Aiden a sense of urgency, so I'm really glad getting to the end zone does.
Yeah.
But he's about the most chill human being on the planet. I don't know what makes him mad, because I try often. I never get a rise out of him, and it's really frustrating. He doesn't get worked up. I don't know that he worries about anything. He is, and so it's awesome to see that, he has flipped the switch on the football field for sure. So
Yeah.
now, in between Aiden's 2 long touchdown passes, we have a Dakota to Gage Anderson 41-yard touchdown pass.
1-7.
Exactly.
Snap. Drop back. Dakota David looking to find a man.
Oh,
Gage
nice.
Anderson snuck out the back.
Great play.
Cut, and it's going to go 41 yards for the Bearcat touchdown. There's the big play we were looking for from Gage Anderson.
It was awesome, too.
It was nice. Gage had another gear
Yeah.
to get at the end zone. I mean, he was wide open.
To the dark side of Massey.
No, that was on the other side. It was on the dark end.
Yes.
But
it was
was
on, it was on the Ponder side.
yes. We'll talk about that after we finish the scoring
Okay.
update. Now, Aiden 64-yard touchdown pass.
Oh,
Billy.
John, slant route. There he goes. First play slant route. 64 yards. Cox
Blows
is
him
up
away
the
again.
speed. Golly.
Same play. I do believe it was the first play of the third quarter. Ponder scores again. Long touchdown pass.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is timely since Ponder just scored.
Yeah.
Ryan and John have issues with it, and they are correct. If I was going to pick on anything negative from that game, our kickoff coverage lacks a little bit to be desired.
Yeah, they're a pretty undisciplined group.
Yeah. That
they don't
needs
do
to
a
be
good,
tightened up.
They don't do a good job of staying in their lanes. And I mean, me personally, I get really tired of hearing Coach Ike yell it in practice, stay in your lane, because it's like they just refuse to do it. However, you're also trying to not run Ish and Aiden and Wyatt and those guys down the field every kickoff. Because as an opposing team, I'm going to be like, hey, you see number 1? When he's running down on kickoff, I just want you to ear hole him.
Yeah.
Coach, it might be a 15-yard penalty. I don't care.
We might never see him again for the game, though.
And
it's going to take a big man, but yeah.
I mean, so you try to use some of your, I don't want to say just other guys that can fill that void. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
We need a guy that, it's a mindset.
Oh,
I mean, do you remember Lawson 2 years ago? He made every tackle, it seemed like, on a kickoff.
Yeah. I mean, when my senior year, it was a race. It was who could get down the field the fastest. That's what was it was a pride thing. And the kickoff team is a pride thing because it's thankless. Nobody recognizes you until you screw up a whole bunch, then you get talked about bad on a podcast.
We never talk bad about people.
We just said that we need to tighten it up.
But we didn't talk about anyone specifically.
No, the whole unit.
You do. You're a coach. You can do that.
You negatively referred to the whole unit.
They did. Well, when Elias is making a tackle, there was a lapse in coverage of some sort.
It's a true story.
And that's who last year, which was crazy and made a lot of tackles on the kickoff, was the kicker.
Well,
that's because he had that same mindset.
He didn't want to be
to
the
make
safety. He wanted to run down there and try to make a tackle
first. Yeah.
Yes, the kicker that we do not speak of. He's like Voldemort.
Correct, but the kicker this year, I've never spoke to the guy. He's active on Twitter, so I feel like I know him from that. He does not strike me as the kid that wants to be making the tackle. So I want to support him in that, and I don't want him making the tackles. So tighten it up. Stay in your lane.
I agree. Kickers shouldn't make tackles, but I'm glad that they do when they do.
Yeah.
Because usually that means they prevented a touchdown.
Yeah.
Now, Dakota throws a 31-yard touchdown strike to Stephen Rodas.
Trips right. Cole David drops back to pass him towards the trips. Throws a moonshot, has a man. Caught! Touchdown, Stephen Rodas. He made it interesting, didn't it? Woo, he had all day to camp under it, bobbled it 2 or 3 times, but ultimately come down for the Pelzel Printing touchdown.
Literally right in front of me. I mean,
yeah,
he was running right at me. I saw the whole thing. I saw the old S moment in his eyes when it bounced off it kind of bobbled and hit his face mask, but hey, he brought it in.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Stephen Rodas pay dirt. First time this year, I do believe, first varsity touchdown.
Yeah, and the picture that I sent to the paper, if they use it, I did him a favor. I sent the one that his hands are extended and the ball's in his hands.
Before the bobble.
Yes, where it looks like those reading the paper that it was just smooth.
He's
right
like
in
Jerry
the basket.
Rice.
Yeah, it makes him and Dakota look like a champ.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So is he leading his family in Pilot Point touchdowns?
Yeah, I don't know if Eric has hit the pay dirt very much. Yeah. I think Rodas just took the lead.
Okay.
For sure for varsity, and that's all we really keep track of.
We got a lot of leaders.
Yeah, it's been a turnover year for the Cats.
Yeah.
Dakota still has some work to do.
Dakota, yes.
Keep slinging it, Dakota.
Yeah.
We believe.
Sorry, I'm laughing because Tanner took the lead with 1 extra point.
Well, Aston took the lead.
He would have taken the lead if he was a kicker, yes, with 1.
Well, the first positive yard that Aston gained.
Yes, exactly. Anyway.
Yeah, we digress. And here in a couple of years, we'll get to talk about Michael. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, great. I'll try hard not to.
How many touchdowns did you have?
I don't know.
Well, see, that's another thing. Over the summer, when we compile the statistics, the media guide's going to get larger because our goal is to list every touchdown,
every family tree,
that everyone ever scored, so we can then look it up.
Yeah, not many.
Yeah, but more than one.
Yes, multiple, but yeah.
Oh, double digits?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not prepared to agree to that yet. I don't want Trent to think I'm patting myself on the back.
That's right. We don't want to get harsh comments.
Yeah, seriously, it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Anyways, to cut out scoring, or finished out, Elias hits a field goal shorter than an extra point, a 17-yard field goal.
Snap, hold, kick is up, it is high, it has got a good angle, and it is good.
Hey, still counts as 3, though.
And that wraps it up at 65-14.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It was a good game. Cats were on fire. Kids played hard. You know, you worry about trap games, looking forward or not taking an opponent seriously enough or getting distracted by a parade and festivities and whatnot. And, man, our kids were locked in. They were dialed in and came out and took care of business. They did everything that we asked of them. I feel like we played with great effort. You know, not many complaints, except the kickoff team. Thanks, Chance.
23 does not need to be making tackles.
It's fine.
Everyone will agree.
I'll let it go.
Really, that came down from John and Ryan. And then
You're just the messenger.
I'm just the messenger.
So you're like me for Kyle. You're just the vessel.
Well, they were discussing it in the show, the game.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a commercial. When we come back, let's talk about all the stuff that surrounded the game. Because there is a lot going on there, too.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you looking to build that dream home or barn-dough? CS Designs offers a complete range of design services. CS Designs products range from general drawing services to commercial and residential blueprints, as well as 3D renderings and virtual reality walkthroughs. Let Cole Stewart and the CS Design team design you a beautiful progressive home or building that translates your ideas into an outstanding reality. Visit their website at csdesignstx.com or give them a call at 940-365-4048.
Okay, we're back. Thank you, CS Designs. Now let's talk about the really fun stuff, the stuff that wasn't inside the rectangle colored in green. How was the parade and all of that?
It was good.
Yeah.
It ran out of candy as we were leaving the square, which was disappointing.
Oh, you got to ration it for all the people.
Yeah, we had some, we misappropriated our candy throwing. And we were a little heavy on the candy on Prairie Street.
Yeah.
And we also threw a whole lot of candy at Cody Peacock.
You know how you got a get back coach? You need a coach that's assigned to candy rationing.
I agree. I think,
And bust it up into bags like this is for between the school and the square, and then you give it back out.
Bearcat moms, maybe, man, I'm putting it on them, should do quart size Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
And each kid gets one pre-square. And then at the square, you get an additional, like a clip in the trenches.
Like right there beside Sturm Welding.
Yeah.
Someone runs out to the trailer and then gives them more candy.
Yeah, something like that. I think that would be the way to do it.
Okay, we get that figured out.
No, logistics, like John, we're good at it.
Pep rally was fun. It was hot.
It was hot, but it was good.
Up where I was, it was a whole swarm of wasps. I had a fly swatter, and I was like Mark McGuire, and I was just knocking them. I was killing them.
Post game, I said it looked like D-Day Beach up there.
Exactly. It was good.
Yeah.
So I had fun. We did film it, post it. I think we've had almost 300 people watch it.
Yeah.
We also, it's still in the can. I haven't looked at it, but I believe we had the parade filmed as well. So I will.
I saw Molly.
Okay, I'll chop that up and post that so people can see the parade. I love those because it's kind of a time capsule.
Yeah, I love watching the old ones from years past.
Yeah, that people have posted.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It is. So we get to the game. Game starts. I know you say before, but now I want to ask you after. Is all that pre-stuff really distracting?
It just throws off routine and timetables. You know, from an injury standpoint, that's where I worry about it more than anything, because we head in at 6:55, where normally we head in at about 7:20, and so you warm up to cool down, and so it's really important to get warmed back up to make sure we're ready to rock and roll. Mentally, you worry about it just because it throws off routine. Whenever your livelihood depends on 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, I mean, my goodness, a squirrel can run across the field and we might lose focus for a quarter.
Did Dakota wear his crown into the locker room?
He did not. He handed it to his mother.
Okay. Is he wearing it today at school?
If he's not, it's a huge disappointment. He doesn't go to the junior high, so I don't know.
Yeah, man, you miss out so much now that
No,
you've
I've
been.
been exiled.
Well, I
seems
don't want to
awfully
call
negative.
that. I was gonna say banished, but then I stopped it because
Relocated.
it's a benefit to the kids and the school that you're there.
Yeah, I've been relocated.
You bring a lot to the table.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Now, game starts, and we thought that they were related at the time, but they're not. We lost our signal for the second consecutive week and the second time in the history of us webcasting, which is just weird. And the reason I'm telling everybody this, I cannot stress to you enough, and if you're listening to this podcast, you probably do subscribe to our YouTube channel, but I'm not cutting any of that.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Those of you that listen to this cast, I'm pretty certain subscribe to our YouTube channel. 70% of the people that watch our webcast do not subscribe. I cannot beg you or tell you to tell everyone that you know that watches it to subscribe, because in the unlikely event that a fuse blows or something happens and we lose that stream, if you are not subscribing to our channel,
You won't know what's going on.
you'll be on a wild goose chase, and you'll be texting me, asking me how to find it, and your channel doesn't work. I'm talking to you, Terry Adams, who doesn't listen to this. You text me every week and you want the leak, and then the last 2 weeks, you text me during the game telling me the link isn't working and what's wrong. If you subscribe, you instantly get a notification. You don't miss anything.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is just click that little subscribe button and then the notification button, and you're rocking and rolling.
And the notification button's a little bell looking
Yeah,
thing.
and we snuck the pep rally in. We didn't promote that we were doing that. So
Yeah.
had you been a subscriber and had notifications, you'd be like, oh, wow,
I got the notification.
the Bearcats are doing something. Let's
Yeah.
see what they're broadcasting. So while our system goes down, fortunately for us, the lights went down too, which slowed the game down and let us get back up online. What's going on there? Y'all need to change some light bulbs?
Well, I asked Todd, if the bill was paid up, and he said that it was indeed.
Because I've never had the power company just cut off a portion of my lights.
So he just came and they shut off one bank. No, we to my non-electrical eye, we have a breaker issue. So
It seems like that would be a big breaker too. That's
it
not
is
just a little.
No, whenever I looked at it, it was one of those things where I was like, man, if I mess with this too much, it could kill me. So it was out, and we reset it and let it cool down, and then we got light for a little bit, and then it popped again. So we shut her down. And
How does that work? Okay,
so
this is interesting to me. The lights go out.
both head coaches, so Danny David for us and Kyle Cooper for Ponder, have to agree that the game is playable under those conditions.
We still had more light than Paradise offers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, everything we offer is better than Paradise.
Okay.
Am I lying?
No, I'm stunned by the serious look on your face right now.
Yes, sorry.
But so, okay, coaches go out, ref talks to you guys, like, hey, do you want to play?
Yeah.
Crazy question. What if they said no?
We'd have to reschedule.
We play tomorrow? I mean,
Well, not
Saturday.
tomorrow.
Yeah, but I mean, we play the next
But,
day.
yeah, I guess we'd have to play Saturday morning, like Pee Wee,
Yeah.
in the daylight. So, but no, it's an issue that hopefully will be resolved before Thursday night's JV game.
And then there was I heard a story, because now that I'm the official sideline reporter for PowellPointBearcats.com,
absolutely.
I have to go get stories. And I heard a story that I couldn't get anyone to go on record with, so I couldn't go on the game with it. So now I'm going to tell the story. It's an unofficial, unverified story.
Yes.
I heard that there was a Ponder mother of a receiver
Yes.
who was very upset that the lights were out. I didn't get
Her son couldn't see the ball.
I didn't get her name, so we'll call her Karen. So then Karen complains to Pilot Point that her son is a receiver and can't see the ball, which I thought was really funny because Aiden didn't have any difficulty seeing the ball.
Well, part of Aiden is he has night vision.
Okay. So we equipped our receivers
Yes.
with night vision technology.
Yes, visors.
Okay.
that clean it all up, and we see, like
Then
Predator.
That makes sense.
Like the movie Predator.
So let's say this unverified story did
it
happen.
happened.
Okay. Was Karen already on the field? Or
She
did
was-
Karen
she
come
was
out of the
with-
bleachers and
she was-
charge across the field?
She was with Ponder's band.
Okay. So because when I heard it, I was thinking, did she storm out of the bleachers and go hunt someone down?
That would have been awesome. If
I
she
know,
had. But no, she was down there, and she was with the band or the cheerleaders. She was with some form of Ponder halftime entertainment, and wanted to make sure we all knew that.
The light was out?
Yes, and that her son could not see the ball.
This is why it's important that I wanted to understand how that works, because if we go to Boyd next week, which weird things always happen in Boyd, if the lights go out, we're going to have a meeting, and Coach David's going to say yay or nay.
Yeah.
And then
And
if
Coach Ritchie would be the same way.
If Coach David says yay,
We're going.
we're playing whether Aiden can see the ball or not.
Yeah, we
is
agreed to it.
Yeah, we agreed.
Yeah.
And we're all playing on the same field.
Yep.
Okay.
Half the time you're going to be going at the light, and half the time you're going to be going away from it.
Okay. That was a fun story that I heard that I couldn't go on the
Verified.
air with. It's verified now.
Yes.
Blue check mark.
Blue check mark verified. Snopes says it is okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's an awesome story.
Let's take one more break. And
Okay.
when we come back from this break, let's dive into the stats.
Let's dive deep into them stats. There's a
Perfect.
lot of fun stats to talk about.
Are you looking to build that dream home or barn dough? CS Designs offers a complete range of design services. CS Designs products range from general drawing services to commercial and residential blueprints, as well as 3D renderings and virtual reality walkthroughs. Let Cole Stewart and the CS Design team design you a beautiful progressive home or building that translates your ideas into an outstanding reality. Visit their website at csdesignstx.com or give them a call at 940-365-4048.
All right. Well, big thank you to CS Designs for all their support for this program and for the program on the field as well. So let's take a deep dive into stats. There should be plenty of them.
Yeah, and I want to thank Ponder for actually reporting their stats. So we have Ponder stats to discuss as well.
While we're on thanking Ponder, sorry, we digress. If you check,
That's our MO.
yeah. If you
One
check,
step forward,
if
two
you
back.
check Twitter, I retweeted it, but Coach Chris Young is the initial tweeter.
Yeah, I retweeted it as well.
They very classy move to leave the locker room spotless. So hats off to Coach Kyle Cooper and the Ponder Lions.
That doesn't happen all the time.
Oh no,
Okay.
not at all. That is
Does it happen when Pilot Point leaves the locker room?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, the coaches are the last one out of the locker room, and we try to ensure that it is straightened and neat and everything in its right place.
Awesome.
But normally our kids do a good job of not giving us much work. But I just thought about that whenever you said thank you to the Lions. Thank you again to the Lions for that.
Well, then, if we want to keep backing up stats and doing teasers as well,
Sure.
There's a big conversation on Twitter last night on our Professor Diggs. He's trying to decide where he wants to go the last week. And for those of you that don't listen to his 4-3A report,
Which
you
is
should.
awesome, by the way.
Yes, and to my knowledge, there is no other district that has its own show.
1A through 6A.
Yes, we're talking Allen, whoever you want to throw out there. There's only one district in the state of Texas that has an unbiased show, and it is our district and Diggs on our channel.
He does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
If you're a Whitesboro Bearcat or a fan of any other team, you will be pleased listening to that show. Even though it's through our outlet, it is not Pilot Point centric, nor is it Pilot Point biased.
Our outlet's never mentioned in the show, except I think at the very end he thanks us for
for giving him a
putting it out.
platform, basically.
Yeah, other than that,
No, and it's fantastic. It really is. I enjoy listening to it.
so tell your friends. All right, let's get into stats. Where do you want me to start?
Let's start with passing.
Let's start with passing.
Actually, take that back. Let's go defense first.
All right. I always ask you if you know, which sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. We have a first-time leader in tackles for the year. First time this name's been atop the list. Do you know who it is?
I don't.
Do you want to take a guess?
Aiden
Love
Cox.
making you guess. No, it will be Jacob Gleiser.
That's nice.
6 solos, 4 assists, 10 total tackles.
I thought he played really well down the stretch, and it was nice because you got some kids that don't get a whole lot of playing time all the time. Now, Glazer gets a lot of playing time, but he got a lot more than normal, and he produced. He did well.
Who does he back up? Who did he come
Curly.
in for? Curly?
Yeah.
So, like you said earlier in the podcast, it's one play away from him being there. So when he comes in for Curly,
we know that he can get the job done.
yeah, and Curly came in third with 9 total. Colin Lynch with 9 as well.
Would that be third or a tie for second?
Well, I'm reading it as I go.
Okay.
So, yeah, it is a tie for second, which actually, the way you would designate it, though, they'd both be third.
Yeah. No,
So, boom.
Both of them played really well. I was very pleased with the way Colin played and the way Curly played. I thought they
Aiden
did a
Cox
good
is
job.
right there behind them for your pick.
Ish and Aiden both had 8.
They did, as well as Gage and Wyatt.
Yep, a lot of tackles.
Yeah. All right, since we're sticking with defense, 7 total sacks
Yeah,
for the game.
the pilot point sack exchange of Aiden Cox and Alex Puga, 3
Yes,
each.
3 each, and then Mendoza
Yeah.
came in with 1.
I thought Andy played really well. A kid that normally is in a backup role got significant playing time, and I thought he did really well.
1 fumble recovery, number 6, Jace Williamson.
Not only was it a fumble recovery, the Pond receiver ran about a 10-yard stop and completely shoved Jace to the ground. Offensive pass interference again. Made the catch. Takes off to go running and get more yards, and Jace pickpockets him. Good play by Jace.
Yeah, it was good he didn't give up on it.
No,
chased it down.
Yeah.
Made it, and that was the light issue that I really think he got a jump on Jace, because that's right when the light went out, and I don't think Jace knew really how to react. And that one split second, I'm telling you.
Okay, I believe you.
You disagree.
No, I believe
can see
you.
by your look.
I believe you. I'm trusting Chance.
I was standing over there.
Sure.
Sideline reporting.
Yes.
Okay. Since we're on defense, we'll talk punts. Aiden, I guess he listens to the cast. He kicked that average up a little bit.
He did.
3 punts, 45-yard average this time.
He was back to Aiden.
Yeah. Good job, Aiden.
Yeah. I
Now-
guess if you can't go score, at least punt the ball to the end zone.
That's right. And I think he had 1 inside the 20.
Yeah, it was a good roll.
We also had a touchback this week, which is the first touchback of the year.
Yeah,
That's always exciting.
it is. I agree. I thought Elias kicked the ball well. He had a lot of practice this game.
And he made a tackle.
Did he? I haven't heard.
Okay, offense. Best passing performance, without actually going through the stats and comparing it, we've had all year.
And it's as a committee.
Yeah, kind of like in baseball when you have 2 pitchers have
Yeah.
a combined no-hitter. This was a combined awesome passing performance,
I agree. I thought both of them threw the ball really, really well.
which I'm going to give the team totals first. We went 15 of 27 for 447 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then a passer rating of 140. I'll take that.
Absolutely. Again, it'll be my common complaint that it's every week.
55.6.
That's not good enough, but whenever you're producing at the rate that they were, I'll take it.
Now, Wyatt went 9 of 14 for 287 and 3 TDs. That might be his best performance of the year individually.
I think so. And again, the really important thing, both of them took care of the ball.
Yeah.
Which is what we have to have from the quarterback position is taking care of the ball.
And yeah, it doesn't get any easier as the weather gets colder.
No, and we're not generating turnovers like we have in the past. Our interception totals are way down. I think a lot of that has to do with the no-fly zone being gone. Old number 15, Roman in the middle last year, made a big difference. He tended to get to the ball. He was a ball hawk. And so we miss Avery in that sense. And Ish has a lot more physical presence. And then I think it goes without saying that with Aston's absence, being down a corner, I think that hurts us as well.
Dakota, 6 of 13, 160 yards with 3 TDs as well.
Nothing wrong with that.
Go passing. Ish, 5 carries, 98 yards, average of 19.6 a carry with 3 TDs.
That's okay.
What's wrong with that guy?
I don't know. I wish he'd get in the end zone more.
And Gage had another workman effort with 15 carries, 56 yards. Man, he's just like back in the day, for those of you that are as old as me, when it was time to shut it down, you just start handing it to Emmett. That's kind of what Gage just comes in there and it's like, hey, man, just keep running, keep the clock moving.
Well, and, he's he came out on fire his first couple games. I think 100 yards in his first game.
It was.
And then he's come back down out of orbit a little bit.
Well, does some of that have to do with that first game? Nobody knew who he was. It's just a JV guy, and now he's on tape, and people are like, hey, this guy's going to come in. It's going to be a different.
There's some of that, and then there's some of it just being young. When you're a young back, you make decisions, and you cut it back, and it was the right cut back, or you didn't cut it back, and that was the right thing to do, and sometimes you hit and miss, and I think there was a little bit of beginner's luck, but the great thing about Gage is that he's gonna continue to run hard, because you can never question that. It's not that he's scared or not that he's lazy.
I think that first week he played, I said, how's he going to do? And you said, I don't know, but he will go full speed wherever he does.
And that's him. That's going to be him until he is done playing. I just think that tape got out there, people understand a little bit more what he's going to be. And then I just think that sometimes he zigs when he should have zagged. And there's nothing to be concerned about.
So when you say a young back and should zig when he zags, that's experience and then film study with you guys and pointed out and like, hey, this is what you felt and saw, but this is what you should have seen.
Yeah, and Coach Kramer and Coach Peacock do an excellent job of showing him tape and helping him understand the scheme and understand his path and understand all the little things. And it is different because, everything is different between Gage and Ish. Every mesh is a little bit different. Everything might hit a little faster, it might hit a little slower, it might hit a little wider, and so it's the deal with having two really good backs is that things change. And so I think he has a huge future for the Cats.
All right, moving on to receiving. The first number that jumps out at you obviously is Aiden Cox, 6 receptions, 243 yards. Averaged 40.5 yards a catch and had 3 TDs.
Again, I think he listens to the cast and he heard us making fun of him in his pitiful 18-yard average from last week.
You know what? What makes me happy when I look at the receiving that I don't recall seeing all year? I have to count. There's so many.
There's 8.
No, 7. We had 7 different receivers.
Yeah.
We need that.
No.
We need that moving forward because, like in the Whitesboro game, it was 2, maybe 3, but I want to think it was 2.
Well, and they triple covered one of them, and it still didn't matter. But it's nice to have the other options and people developing. You look at it. Crew had a nice catch and run on our sideline. I think Cade had one on the far sideline.
2 for 54 was Crew when one was 35.
Yeah. And then Cade, I think, had one on the far sideline.
He was 1 for 5.
And it was an important 5. That's the biggest thing there. Colin Lynch had a good one. We were going right to left.
Yes, he
across
was
the formation.
18 yards.
And so you're getting a lot of underneath production that we haven't always gotten in the past. And the more that happens, the more that Crew catches the ball and has success, the more confident he'll be. And maybe instead of making fun of him for missing wide open touchdown passes.
That's you, not me.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, why are you throwing me under the
I
bus
just want to be clear. You're a coach. You can do that. I don't have the right to. I just pat him on the back.
I feel you, but with the confidence that he'll gather from a good game, hopefully it'll make a huge effect going forward.
Well, I just think it's important because as the field narrows, as we make the playoffs, eventually we're going to run into a corner or a scheme that can challenge Aiden. I don't want to say stop, but as it gets tougher, it's going to happen. So we need more. We need to spread it around.
Well, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
And the more options you have, the more difficult a Saturday morning for a defensive coordinator is.
Yeah, and it's going to make it more difficult to stop him schematically because there's threats in other places. If he's the only guy catching the ball, then it's still difficult, but it makes it easier.
Well, no matter what happens, our last game this season will be the last game that number 1 plays in a Bearcat uniform.
Yeah.
And so we need to make sure that the options that are back next year, they don't need to be a bunch of greenhorns.
Yeah.
We need them to have game experience. They need to have the ball in their hands, and they need to be comfortable in that role.
So good job, whoever.
Yeah.
You guys,
Quarterbacks.
Wyatt, whatever is responsible for
Sure.
that, receivers, everybody. Team effort.
Yeah.
Let's see, anything else that just jumps out? We've got tackles. That's pretty much it as far as the game. I did bring the season stats.
Okay.
Aiden is 3 yards shy of a 1,000-yard season.
Okay.
I'm going to make a bold statement right here. He gets 1,000 Friday night.
If he doesn't,
Is it safe to say he's going to have at least 3 yards receiving?
things have gone terribly wrong for the Cats.
Things have gone bad.
Yes. Something happened.
That's like when you joked last week and said something jokingly about Pilot Point, Ned, first round, and I said something has gone terribly bad for one of those
Yes,
programs.
one of those
if that's
programs.
the by-district matchup.
Yes.
Yeah, for the season, that's really the number that stands out the most for sure. That's impressive.
What is Ish's touchdown total right now?
Let's see. I see 13 for rushing, and I know he has 1 receiving and a pick 6. Hold on. Let me just turn the pages as you pop these questions on me that I wasn't prepared for. He has Ish Harris 15 total TDs.
And I think he was 18 last year.
Man, I didn't bring last year.
Yeah, I'm just kind of
But we
thinking
got an
out loud
interception return for a touchdown, a reception, and then 13 TD
here.
rushes.
I do believe he was at 18 touchdowns rushing last year.
Yeah.
And so I know his yardage totals aren't what they
There's a
they
guy
were,
that comes out every week.
but his rushing yardage isn't what it was last year. But
doesn't have to be.
we're also 6 games shorter currently.
Well, but I'm saying it hasn't had to be this year. Our passing numbers are obviously up when we're about to have a receiver hit 1,000 yards, and
Yeah.
it's a different year, different offense.
I think you need to look at average. I think that's where you can really get a good temp check.
Do you want to know Ish's season
That
average?
was me
Is that
kind
what
of
you're,
asking. I
You're
was
prodding me to
segueing
say
into that.
Man, there's just so much paperwork here. For the season, he's averaging 6.8 yards a carry.
It's a good average.
Aiden is averaging 24.3 yards a catch for the season as well.
That's pretty good. That's video game stuff.
Yeah, sore subject. Ish is almost averaging 100 yards a game. I mean, he's at 97.3.
Yeah, and that's and he missed a game.
Yeah.
So if we really wanted to look, we'd have to take that game out.
Max Preps does that.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
He didn't. It says he played 7. Yeah, he did miss a game. So that is with 7 games. It's already in there.
Okay.
Because we've played 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, true. That would have helped. All right, I guess that's it for the stat report, Coach.
Yeah,
Unless
I'm
you've got
done.
something else I need to look
I'm done
up.
grilling you
Okay.
because you look
Man.
uncomfortable.
Well, I didn't bring my readers. I can't see this tiny print. Anyway, have you got any word on where we're going to be at Boyd? On top of the concession stand, on the
I have
goal
not.
line, in front of their blowhorn? Where are they sticking us?
I have no idea. Still awaiting word.
Okay.
And
But you do know people over there. I expect decent accommodations, or am I crazy to think that they're going to...
no, I've kept in touch
Okay.
over the course of the season.
Yeah.
So travel, Bearcat fans. It's always, kind of good old fashioned hate with Boyd, and so the more people we have in the stands, it helps. It helps on the field. It helps those kids. Boyd being 1-8 or 1-7, I apologize. They're a about the best 1-7 team that you can find. There is skill there, there's talent there, and we're gonna have our hands full. And so they unfortunately are playing for nothing. They're out. They're mathematically eliminated.
Well, beating Pilot Point is playing for something.
I'm telling you, and that's it. Mathematically, they're eliminated, but there's no shortage of pride in Boyd America. They love the game. They love the Jackets, and there's a lot of tradition there, a lot of history that they're playing for, and they would be very excited if their second win of the season was against the Bearcats.
I agree with you.
And so just travel well, and we know for sure that we're in the playoffs. More of that will kind of solidify as the season goes on. So,
well, I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. We don't know what we're into at Boyd. We don't know what our internet situation is. The best way to keep up with whatever we're doing is subscribe and hit notifications.
Well, probably the only thing worse than internet in Wise County is certain Wise County alumni that might be on the coaching staff.
Yeah, just tune in and we'll see what happens.
All right. Thank you again to CS Designs. We sure appreciate everything they do for us and for the program. And as always, go Bearcats.
Oh, oh, oh.